Anyway, I picked up a few things. You guys remember yesterday I found out, shoot, today's been a long day. I found out that the oil filter that I bought for this behemoth does not actually fit it. Does it, buddy? Yeah, it doesn't actually fit it. So I had to call and order one, and it wasn't ready till today anyway, so we got to take this off here. I put it on because it rains like every day and every night here pretty much, and sure enough, last night and all of today up until maybe an hour ago is absolutely pouring, so I'm glad I closed that up. But anyway, what is this? This is the Wix. This is the Wix 5, well, you can read that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to put this on here and hope for the best. I don't think I've ever actually had to change an oil filter on anything. I probably have, but not for engine oil. Maybe hydraulic oil. There are not many things that I would rather have that are modern that we did not have in the 1960s when this tractor was made, but the spin-on oil filter is definitely one of them. Anyway, I also picked up some diesel oil for this. Actually, I think it's probably going to be best if we put the filter in for obvious reasons, if we put this in first. Actually, this should just be, yeah, pretty much just finger tight. Oh, everything with these cartridge filters is a pain. Not really, but definitely compared to modern stuff. Alright. Alright, so let's see, you got a couple of O-rings. What is that? Is that an O-ring? O-ring gaskets, whatever with this. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if these are the same or not. Yeah, I think this will work. Chuggy 2009 destroys an irreplaceable 1960s O-ring in 3, 2... Oh, man, there's paint on this O-ring. That's how long it's been in here. Alright, I don't want to just hose this down with brake clean because if there's any of that chemical solvent left over, I'm afraid it's going to eat away at the new O-ring. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's an O-ring. That's like, I hope that's an O-ring, otherwise I'm mutilating my pocket knife. Disgusting. That's an old O-ring. It has to be. Oh, and it's really in there. Like really, 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 it's been compacted by probably lots of times tightening down on that canister. Man, if you guys want to talk productivity, I mean, starting the day at 5:30, that's pretty good, but if you really want to hit next level, you have to bring all your tools outside the building one at a time and then put them back in at the end of the day. Of course it's not going to come out. I'd say I'm surprised no one has changed this in what's probably a decade or more, but to be honest with you guys, I'm past the point of being surprised by things like this. And I haven't even been working on farm equipment for all that long. This is why I like to go through and do a pretty much full service on anything before I take it out to the field. Because that's when you catch stuff like this, and otherwise, I'd be out there miles from home, you know, trying to make hay or whatever, just going about my day. Please fit. Please. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Brilliant job, Wix. Yeah, otherwise I'd be out there trying to get stuff done, and that old, ancient, cracked, disgusting vintage O-ring we just popped out of there would break, and now this thing's losing engine oil. It's just a whole big deal. Didn't it go in further than that? You get 2 O-rings. I don't know if we're supposed to use 2 O-rings. I'm starting to think that because there's a gap between this O-ring and the side of the housing, and the other one's significantly fatter, we're just supposed to put the fat O-ring in here and take up this gap completely. But I don't actually have any clue whatsoever. I don't think you're supposed to put 2 in here. I think someone like left the old one in and then pressed a new one on top of it. So here's a blast from the past. The oil change interval for this engine. What Case recommends in the vintage manuals, you change the oil every 120 hours and the filter every 240, I think it said. For comparison, the new Kubota sitting over there, 500-hour oil change interval with synthetic oil in their filters. So that's how far maintenance is coming. However many decades it's been. I suck at math, I don't really know. Okay, I'm pretty sure we just stabify that in there. Great, now we have to tighten up this bolt, which is like a mile long for no apparent reason whatsoever. But that's the way they built everything. Even the oil filter has a mile of thread engagement on it, which I'm not really complaining about, but I wish I was intelligent enough to bring a ratchet. Yes! That was a pretty gratifying stop up against that O-ring. It compressed just the right amount. Had the perfect feeling coming through this wrench. All right, a little apprehensive about this because the pliers wrench, in order to bite down on this properly, it should really go like this, but well, I mean, I guess there's a little room for that. I could just get the proper size wrench, but that's not really like me. Gotta mangle up this vintage fill plug and cause some mechanical injuries to my offhand in the process. Oh, nope, like everything else on this tractor, this has been tightened down with 5 million pounds of force. Today, on life decisions I will soon regret. Oh wait, that actually went pretty well. Okay, that was actually easier than I expected. Okay, got 2 funnels. Naturally, the first one's the wrong size. We must always bank on this and just plan to swap it out for the second one. It saves time that way. No, it went down. Seriously though, I don't have time to add oil to this like a tablespoon at a time. There's got to be another fill somewhere. You know what? The oil dipstick on this is like probably over 1 inch in diameter, the opening for it, so maybe we're just supposed to pour it in there. Yeah, this is gonna work a lot better. Oh, this is exciting. Never changed the oil on this before. I hope it runs so much smoother with this new stuff. I don't know how old the old stuff was. Didn't look bad, but I have no idea. I have no way to know how long it was in there. I don't see a puddle, so I'm assuming I remembered to put the drain plug back in the bottom of this yesterday. I'm going to show you guys something. This is the dipstick for this tractor, and what's really cool is when you turn down on this, it forces that plug out to the sides and it creates a waterproof seal where the dipstick goes into the engine block. I mean, it's a simple thing, but you don't see quality like that on modern equipment. At least I haven't. It's probably out there somewhere, but it's not very common. All right, so we don't have as much time as I thought before it gets dark because it's happening a lot faster than I figured. So, it still kind of works. What we're gonna do is come in here and change the oil in this thing. This is the oil bath air cleaner. And these things are excellent. I wish you could still get them on new equipment because unlike a paper air filter element, I know a lot of you guys already know this, but for those that don't, unlike a paper air filter element, the way this thing works is it sucks fresh air from that intake through literally a bath of oil. Like we fill this up to probably that line. We'll take a look at it when it's out of here. But it gets sucked through the oil and all the dust and grit and everything, it stays in the oil. It's like if you've ever had a, like a container of used motor oil that sits open in your shop and then like you do some metalworking in there or something, you know how it catches all that dust? It's basically the same thing. They work extremely well. They get the air extremely clean. The problem is they're not used anymore, probably for EPA reasons, and mostly because companies only sell one air filter with a tractor when it's an oil bath air cleaner. There's nothing that's really replaceable in here other than just the oil. So it makes a lot more sense for the company if they can sell a paper element for $30 or $40 every 12 months or 5 years or whatever for the entire life of the machine. And so I guess for a combination of those two things, we don't really see these anymore, but I really like them. Anyway, let's just wrestle this off here because there's probably time to do this before it gets totally dark. Now I don't know how long this has been on here. Oh, hey, look at that, it comes loose. That's great. Oh, hopefully not all that long. Man, it'd be really awesome if this thing has actually been properly maintained. I really think the only reason this thing saw proper maintenance is because the previous owners felt sorry for it on account of how ugly it is. Oh, there's water in it. Oh no. Oh, what is that? Okay, shoot, man, this is like half water. I really should have done this before I ran the tractor because this filth has probably been getting sucked up into my otherwise immaculate engine. Oh my goodness, this is like liquid cookie dough. Disgusting. Is that even oil? That's like cow manure or something. But it doesn't smell. Maybe because it's been in there so long. Oh, gross. That's like half oil. Or I'm sorry, half what? I guess it doesn't matter because it's half. Shoot, it's gonna be dark by the time all this molasses gunk falls out of here. Okay, well, you know, whatever. If this is the worst problem we come up against, we're doing pretty well. I'm so sorry, poor tractor. This poor old machine. Maybe this is why it's so hard to start, because it can't breathe, because it can't suck air through half water, half pudding. This is really bad. All right, what's going on with this, at least my diagnosis, is somehow water got into this, obviously, because, I mean, you could go swimming in that pretty much. But what that has done is pushed all this filth up a lot higher than it's supposed to go, so presumably that part that you're looking at now of the filter is chock full of oil and I don't even know what, whereas it's supposed to be just this. So really, this whole filter needs to come out of here and be rinsed out, let alone just the bowl, which needs to be cleaned, refilled, and reinstalled. So, I gotta figure out how to get this thing off of here. Okay, you know what? I don't want to take this out because there's like a whole secondary pipe in there, and I don't think we actually have to remove it to clean it. With this out of the way, we can get up in there with some solvent, and I'll spray some solvent down from the top. I think that'll work just fine. What a disgusting mess. I'm gonna get some cardboard or something and put it under there because I don't have all day for this to dribble out of there. I know, you're like, Chucky, don't put wood in there because it'll run off, but it barely even moves, so I'm not too worried. All right, this is officially the worst air cleaner I've ever dealt with. This stuff, it basically stopped even flowing. Oh my goodness, look at all that dirt. It's a miracle this tractor even ran at all. Keep in mind, it is sucking all the air that that engine uses through this rotten peanut butter stuff. I can't even tell where the lines of the bowl are. Like, it's that bad. I'm pretty sure it's dished, you know, it's got like a little dealio that comes in. Yeah, sort of. Looks like a calf, like a baby calf with digestional issues has been in this garbage can. I think that's all I can get with the paint scraper, which evidently I need to fix the air cleaner. Alright, I said I'm past the point of things like this surprising me, but I guess that wasn't true. Alright, so I've removed everything that's loose and I hosed this down with some foaming degreaser because quite frankly, I don't even know what else to do at this point. I am simply amazed, not so much at how bad that was, because most people don't change oil bath air cleaner oil very often. Most manuals, like, I don't claim to be an expert, but from what I've seen, most manuals will tell you to do that every single time you change the engine oil, and most people, they just don't. I've seen some really black oil in there. I've seen like chunks of dirt and everything. I had not seen anything like that. That was a first. Y'all know I'm not a mechanic. That was number one for me, definitely. I've not seen anything that tops that. I think what happened is that's a combination of no one changing that probably in years, with a lot of water getting into it. Now I realize this is Texas and I don't care what they say, there is nothing in the state that is actually waterproof. But when I lived in Austin, and that's close to where that tractor is from, when I lived there in 2015, at one point we were getting 4 inches of rain per day. I didn't even know that was possible. You know, there's like, especially down there, lately, in the last few years, they've been getting a lot more rain than even we have up here in North Texas. I mean, literally subdivisions wash away there. So I'm not surprised that there's water in the oil. Really what amazes me is that tractor ran at all. Can you imagine having to breathe through that crap, to having to suck air through that? Somehow the machine has done this, probably for quite some time, and to be honest, it ran pretty well. I'm very excited to see what happens. Obviously, it is, it's dark outside. You can't really see. I guess you can, sort of. It's dark outside, so I can't put this back together, and I'm gonna let that set up overnight. And the air cleaner is still glopping. I'm not even gonna say it's oil. At this point, it's not even really oil. At this point, it's like that splooge stuff that follows people around in horror movies and tries to like smother them or whatever. I got nothing to say. It's just, it is what it is, and hopefully we can get it back together. I'm really excited to see how well this tractor is going to run when it's clean. So I found out where the oil is getting in from. There's the top of that air cleaner, that plastic section. That's really loosey-goosey. I tried to take it apart, but it's held on by this one little machine screw, which is rusted solid, of course, because excessive water. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go online, I'm gonna look up parts for that air cleaner, and I'm gonna get a replacement, you know, bolt screw thing for it. I'm gonna get all the seals in the top of that and have them ordered. But we're gonna shove it back together as is, because I'm not gonna run it for very long before we change this again, because I'm sure more of that disgusting slop is gonna make its way down into that pan. I got nothing to say. It's just, like I said, it is what it is. I'm amazed that thing ran, and I really want to see how much better this thing runs with, you know, normal oil in it.